Yeah, so maybe Cyrille, you can take it over. So Cyrille is a dynamic 365 consultant based in the US. Had over
No, in
over
the
5 years.
UK. In the
Sorry,
UK.
in the UK. In the
Yeah.
UK, with over 5 years experience in dynamic space. Originally from Cameroon, but currently based in the UK. So Cyril, I would not like to take much of your time, so you can start. Other people are joining, so I'm sure by the time you kick start, the numbers will have increased. So you can shift.
I'm just trying to pull up my I'm just transferring my presentation from my MacBook onto my my Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah. So just give me a minute. I'll try to do that real quick. So, well, thank you, Fred, for giving me the opportunity to speak to the delegate. So, as Fred mentioned, my name is Cyrille. I'm a functional consultant based in the UK. I'm also a certified trainer. So at the moment, I'm juggling a few things on my plate. I'm also working actively, but I'm also trying to run a business with a partner. I was hoping that my presentation will come through, but it looks like it's still in my outbox somewhere, making its way. Just give me a minute, guys. So I'm not sure how many people within the delegate. I know Fatima is a dynamic 365 user. Is everybody at the moment dynamic users? Hello?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I can speak up. I'm a 20-year user, Cyrille. So I started in Dynamics AX 3.0, and learned to be a functional consultant and developer. So for about 20 years of my career was that.
That's brilliant. It looks like my presentation is not coming through, even though I put so much. Oh, it's come through. Perfect. Just in time. So you'll have the opportunity to see. It was just a quick thing to cover the time period. So I'm just going to launch and share my screen now.
Maybe as Cyrille is doing that, if you're comfortable, just in the chat, go ahead and kind of maybe just a note about how you're connected to Dynamics 365, whether you're a functional consultant, an analyst, a developer. That way we'll kind of know who the audience is. Just pop that in the chat there, just a quick word of how you're connected.
Can you see the screen?
Sure, we can see.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes, I think it's pulled up, not the one that I was looking at. I think it's pulled the right one now. No problem. That's perfect. So I'm just going to quickly try to cover what I wanted to cover. It's just, as I said, it's just unfortunate that we are pressed for time. I mean, I'm pressed for time on my end. So that's me. I've already done the introduction. So what I wanted to emphasize from my experience is that the dynamic journey, as much as it can be an easy journey, is a journey of resilience and determination. Surely, myself starting, I kind of just. Oh, hang on a minute. Why I keep popping down? Myself started, I kind of not struggle, but I did it the traditional way because coming from, I'm an ex-engineer, so coming from an engineering background, I didn't have people within that space to guide me. Hence why I started CNC 365 Dynamic to allow to coach people how to transition from a previous job into the IT, preferably business application. And for some of you, I know some of you are older than me, and probably translate into being wiser than me. You would know that for some that transition into IT, it is an awkward journey, especially when you spend, like myself, 13 years doing a job that you study at uni for, and then suddenly you want to take that leap of faith to try to do something else. So initially I looked around and I spoke to a couple of people, and I was trying to understand what was best for myself to transition into the IT world. But I felt like I was hitting a dead end. So I just did what I learned at school. You go and get it. So I started with Microsoft Learn. I did a couple certification. And I know I've put on the presentation that there's a support role. Fortunately for me, straight after the qualification and maybe trying to leverage my interpersonal skills, I jumped straight into a functional consultant role. But I wouldn't say the ideal role for somebody starting up that want to learn the role. The dynamic journey is in step. So the first step is you take a support role, and within the support role, there's things that you do, and then you grow within that role, preferably 0 to 3 years. And then you can take then a functional role, which is 5 years plus. But that means that you've already gathered enough intelligence, enough knowledge to be able to attack that role. And the experience that I had, I think in a sense was a blessing, because when you do things by yourself, you stumble a lot. But if you're resilient enough to get back up and try to do other things, you learn along the way. And I think that journey, not having people supporting me around, kind of shaped and maybe mold the person I am today. I wouldn't say a go-and-getter, but certainly somebody that has that thirst for knowledge and that continuous improvement and trying to improve himself continuously, in a sense. So what I've found out through my journey is that it's probably, I don't know if it's something cultural, but I think that us, as in when I say us, is an African without pigeonholing it. So I entitled this slide The Great Imposter, because I think the way that we are brought up sometimes, I mean, not in general, I think the majority has an impact on how we do things. And therefore, we find ourselves in a position where we want to do things in a righteous way. But what I found out through my journey is sometimes you don't need to know everything before walking into a position. You have to take that leap of faith and learn as you go, because essentially everybody in life is an imposter somehow, because you never know everything. But what I also found out is that if you have a network, and that's why I entitled this slide The Network, if you have a network that you have cultivated that are based on people that are there to support you, like a foundation, you can always rely to them. And that's why it's important within the business application field. Of course, you need to have people around you, as you need to have mentors, need to have like support system. You need people that not necessarily within your field, but within field that can complement you. I mean, nowadays, maybe prior, if you were doing dynamic F&O, there was no need for you to know Power Platform and everything. But now the Microsoft ecosystem is so complementary that it is important for you to dabble in other stuff in order to make yourself a rounded person in a workplace, because there are certain avenues where you may need to use certain tools. You may not have to learn them, but if you have people around you that can support you and maybe bring you those input, I found out personally that it is a great addition to your toolkit. And that's how myself personally I've navigated. And obviously I'll be more than happy to learn from other professionals. I mean, somebody spoke that he has 20 years of experience within Dynamic. I don't think I've come across somebody of a sort. So I think like this is a great addition to the network. It's a resource that we can essentially tap into. So I spoke briefly about the support role because I didn't know how the delegate was going to look like. But when you start with the support role, ideally, there's two sides to the support role. You have to deal with the ticket. You have to deal with the ticket resolution. You have to deal with the escalation of the ticket. And within those tickets is about you learning and navigating the ecosystem surrounding dynamic. You come across things like Azure DevOps, where you do the change management, and sometimes you use the ticketing system alongside the Azure DevOps, and it's just understanding how that system works. And through resolving those tickets, that's where you build your skills to be essentially a functional consultant. I know functional consulting is something beyond, because there's other things that you need to understand, but definitely this is a starting point. I know that I've had to jump forward and then work my way backward, but that's what my journey was. And certainly I wouldn't change anything on my journey. I was meant to do a little demonstration on how a ticketing system works. And for that, I will just quickly jump out. And I will share a separate window. I don't know if that is open, and I don't know if I will be able to do that. So at the moment, I'm using a ticketing system called Cherwell, which is a straightforward system. I don't know if Cherwell is going to open, and he has. Hold on, that's Team. That's not Cherwell, is it? Oh, I don't know if Cherwell is going to allow me to share. Oh yeah, it's done it. So basically, this is a system that I'm using for dealing with the ticket. And this is where I'm assigned. And within that, I have at the moment 4 tickets. So those 4 tickets is about user setup, which I've not addressed yet. And essentially, as I said, when you're doing a support role, I think it's the best way to start your journey as a dynamic consultant, because it gives you sorry guys, I'm just backing up because I need to start making my way. It gives you a well-rounded view on what you need what you need to be doing. You dabble in security, you dabble in configuration, you dabble in customization, and there's a lot of things that you navigate onto. So I wanted to show you the Cherwell ticket. So at the moment I have 4 tickets, and these 4 tickets are essentially setting up users. The only reason I've not closed them yet is because with everything that Microsoft has brought through into the system with licensing and everything, we actually now need a manager approval in order to set up the user. So it's a straightforward system. I'm still waiting for a manager approval on this ticket. So basically what you do is once you are on the dynamic portal, you transport the users from intra onto dynamic, and then you set them up that way. There's different ways that you can do that. You need to set up the user first, and then you link the user to a worker profile. And then whether the user work in the shop floor or anything, there's other things that you can set up. You can set up the PFE, you can set up the mobile access. But these are essentially what the support role entail. In a sense, you get to have the opportunity to be either in a supporting capacity, or just be in a position whereby you can do certain configuration. And I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. I wanted to try to demonstrate, but I think the delegate have a greater expertise of that, so I don't want to deal too much into that. So I'm not sure if anybody have any question.
Maybe Cyrille, Cyrille, a quick one. Yeah, I would like to find out what challenges did you really face in terms of transition into the Dynamics 365 or into the IT field?
This is a very good question, Fred. I know we spoke a lot. So basically, when I started my career, it is a funny story, but it's one of those things, and it actually changed my perception on how I view things. When sometimes somebody says no to you, don't take it personal. Just take it as one door closed, another door open. I have a really good friend of mine. He's in the dynamic space for a very long time. I don't know, maybe 7 years or so. And when I was struggling, I approached him and I said, look, I'm trying to get into this space, but I'm not quite sure how to navigate. And he kept turning around. So the time that he was turning around, I actually started a boot camp. I started a data engineering boot camp because I thought, okay, I've done engineering. I've worked as an engineer for 12 years. Certainly anything physics, math related, that's not a biggie, which wasn't. It wasn't a biggie. I did a data engineering boot camp. I did SQL. I did everything. And then 6 months, I couldn't get anything. I was in desperation. Not desperation from a money sense, but like you're trying everything, but nothing is working. And then I said, okay. 6 months later, I had an issue where I had to use SQL, but I've not used SQL for 6 months, and I couldn't do it. I quickly understood that certain skill set, you have to hone them not only by learning, but also on the job. And therefore, it's a bit pointless to learn a skill that you're not ready to use. And therefore, what I did instead was I said to myself, I don't want to read any book. What area within IT can I effectively do it without a problem? And I was like, okay, business applications. I went on Microsoft Learn. I did everything that I did. I just followed pathway, MB 920, and then I did MB. Actually, I didn't do MB 310. I did MB 300 and then 330 because I was still like, okay, I'll do. Just getting, and it was just it was just a hassle because you need guidance, you need things, and that's where I started understanding the importance of a network. So everybody that starts new, you have to create a network, even if you don't understand the scope of things. If you want to move into a space, start talking to professional that's been in that space for years. You need to understand in which direction the role is moving. What are the new tools that are coming up onto the market that are being integrated to the application that you need to know to leverage your workspace with? And that was my focus. As soon as I understood that, everything was smiling for me. But the greater challenge is speaking to somebody that will understand what you are going through and able to effectively give you the not holding your hand, because I know some people need hand holding, but you need people that have been in that position. Because what I've also found out lately is that most of the people that are in the Microsoft space, they didn't chase that Microsoft space. They were already in an organization and Microsoft got rolled out. So they've not had to go from nowhere into that. They was already there. So they don't understand, first of all, that you are leaving everything behind to come into that space without any promise of any flourishment. So I think that's what I put resilience in there. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to be ready to speak to anybody that are within that space. If you're not engaging those conversations, trying to understand people, you are not going to make it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for submission.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any question from the audience. If not, then we'd like to thank you for you to catch your flight and safe travels.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So that's was Cyrille. So maybe quickly we'll move on to Bobby and for Bobby to do the introduction for us. At least now we have some numbers in here as people are joining. Thank you very much, Bobby Small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so awesome to see so many people on with us today.
Sure.
And what a great just opening from Cyrille. I mean, a lot of that resonated for me. I didn't want to interrupt him, but very similar start path. I started in IT and I built my way up. And the one thing I wanted to mention that everybody here should understand and will get to understand is that community was a big part of it for me. So it wasn't just about my own drive to get out and learn, to do things. It was the community that I got involved in pretty quickly, locally through meetings, and then started to lead meetings and go to other meetings and larger meetings, and just, got to this network that's grown over the last 20 years that is the foundation of my success. I can point backwards and sideways to people that have helped me out through my career and continue to do so. And the nice thing is I get to give back to that as well. So I help other folks out when they have, concerns or issues or want advice. So the community is a big part of this success as a Dynamics consultant or functional, business analyst, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the space. Just a community is just I can't impress that enough. So leading into that, I do work for Doug. So I started my career as an end user and an IT professional and developer. I mentioned in the chat, but I've been a community person as well. So had the privilege of actually working for the community starting last year, coming up on my 1-year anniversary at the end of this month. So was happy to come on and join you all today. And just, I think I'm going to try to bring up, I am on a laptop and it just gets a little squirrely. So I'm just going to try to share my screen and hopefully you'll see just a couple quick slides, some exciting stuff we've got coming up. So let's do a window and hopefully y'all can see my PowerPoint a little bit.
I'm sure. Well, you can see.
Yeah. So again, we've been doing this. Doug has been doing this for 30 years. This is our 30th anniversary of being around as Dynamics user groups. It started as forums. So if you don't know, that top panel there on the slide is just a kind of a note to all the forums that are out there where people are sharing daily about issues. If you've got a problem in the Dynamics space and you're looking for an answer or looking to get an answer, I would start with forums. They're great places for people are sharing. This is all on our website, which you can get at the QR code down below there. The webinars, this will be up as a webinar. People love to go out and just consume this content at their leisure. So maybe you couldn't make it, maybe you had to drop early, but these webinars and these recordings are up there forever, and just a great way to get answers as well. You can search that for topics you might be looking for. And then all of our local and regional meetups. You all had a great regional meetup this year, really well attended and successful. We were so excited about that. Leads into some of the conferences we put on. So this is one that travel-wise, it may be difficult, but it'll be a big Microsoft-led conference that they've just asked us to put on for AI and ERP in particular. So the content's going to be led by Microsoft. We're still developing a lot of it now, but it's going to be about probably 60 to 80 sessions all around AI and ERP. And so if it's something that's interesting to you, that's the QR code to take a look at the website and start to get information about what this is going to be. We do know it's going to be in Miami, and it's going to be at the beginning of December. So just wanted to make sure that you all were aware of that. And then later for next year, I know Fred was able to join us in Chicago this year earlier. We're doing our DynamicsCon again in Las Vegas, and we're excited. We're looking at probably close to 3,000, maybe 3,500 people, and this will be multi-track. So this is everything from finance and ops to BC to Power Platform, CE or CRM, and AI, as well as all the networking and fun that go along with an event like this. And this is the lowest price it'll be. So just want to get that out in front of you too. And then just once again, thank you for giving me a moment to see and hear from all y'all. I'll step back, Fred, and let you guys keep on going with the great education. Looks like you've got a great program.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bob. We are glad to have you here. So really appreciate the support the group is really giving us way back from the US. So we will continue with our presentation for today. So our next key person is Fatima. So Fatima, if you are ready, you can take us. Fatima is also a dynamic consultant with over 5 years experience in the space. And I've been doing bigger projects on the quiet, but today wanted really to bring her to light to share her experience with us. So Fatima.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Fatima Adam. I'm a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central Functional Consultant, and I've been a consultant since 2018. So, okay. I'm thrilled to be here at Dynamics User Group Ghana to explore how we as functional consultants and digital strategists can bridge the gap, okay, between business needs and technology. Not just with tools like Business Central or ERPs or Microsoft tools, but consultants with empathy, okay? So we're trying to bridge gap with empathy and insight, okay?
Hello, so Fatima.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just want to find out whether you are sharing any slide with the audience.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Please let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see now.
Okay.
I'm not in the slide mode, yeah.
All right.
Great.
Okay. So like I said earlier, the topic for today is bridging business needs and technology. Okay. So I'm Fatimatu Yaqub Adam. So why does bridge matters? So the agenda for today, we are going to tackle why does bridge matters, understanding business needs, technology as a solution, not a distraction, the role of the functional consultant, real world impact, future trends, and bridging the gap, and then call to action. Then if you have any question. So I would like to know, are we all functional consultants here, or are we all Dynamics users here? Okay.
I'm sure it will vary. I'm sure we'll have people who are new to functional consultant, who are at the intermediate level, and also experts, as you have Bobby, who has been in the space for over 20 years. Sure.
Because I would like to share insight into who we are as functional consultants. A lot of people do not know who functional consultants are. Okay, so talking about the bridge, right? Bridging the gap between technology, business needs and technology. Bridging the gap. So you can see an image here on the left. It's a bridge that is misaligned, right? And on the right, we have a perfect bridge. So when tech doesn't meet business needs, then we start to have issues. But when tech is deployed well, considering the users or business needs, then we have synergy. All right. So why does bridge matters? Too often, tech is deployed without understanding businesses' true pain points. Our role is to ensure that every system speaks language of the business, not just the code. So usually some businesses or some tech people deploy solutions without really considering the users. So we sometimes are in a hurry to sell a solution. So sometimes we sell solutions not really considering the users. But usually with a Microsoft solution, when we deploy solutions, we start with the functional consultants. So the functional consultants play a major role from beginning of the project to the end of the project, starting from demo presentations to requirement gathering and business process reviews to training, given support, or that is continuous support throughout the life cycle of the ERP implementation. So the next is understanding business needs. Before we configure a single module, we listen to businesses, we listen to users, we understand what they want, what their issues are before we even start the implementation. What keeps operations teams up at night? Why do they need the solution? What does leadership want to achieve? These answers shape the tech we build. Okay. Technology as a solution, not a distraction. Technology should be very, very simple, not complicated. Whatever solution we build or whatever solution we deploy to a user, it has to be very, very simple. It's not supposed to be complicated. Good enough, Microsoft solution, that is especially Business Central, is very user-friendly. So far, all our users are able to say the solution is very, very user-friendly. The only issues we have so far is that the solution is not able to tackle everything. That is not able to help with all processes. But we are able to extend the solution to include all other functionalities that are missing. So that is one good thing about the Business Central. Business Central is highly customizable. So before we even implement, we do something called requirements gathering or business process review. We review client processes to understand how they do their things, and we do a gap analysis between what the software has and what the business needs. So we try to find the gap analysis. Whatever is missing in the software, we try to include it. Sometimes it's not advisable to include certain functionalities, or building those functionalities becomes so expensive. So we usually advise the business to get another software. So sometimes we encourage the businesses to get, an example is say Dynamics CRM, right? So we have Business Central. Business Central has some basic CRM functionalities. So if the client wants something beyond that, we advise them to get a Dynamics CRM. So we integrate it into the solution. One good thing also about the solution is that it is we are able to integrate different solutions into the Business Central solution. So that is one thing that we, the functional consultants, also do. So we do not just sell whatever solution we have, we advise, we review processes, we try to understand what the users need. If the solution we are offering doesn't meet the client's expectations, then we advise. Either we are extending the solution to have other functionalities, or we advise users or the business to get other solutions. We integrate into the same solution to help them with their processes. Okay. Now let's go to the role of the functional consultant. Some of us here know who functional consultants are. Some of us too might be new, so we do not know who functional consultants are. So functional consultants, we are bridge architects. So we translate business needs into tech logic. So I remember when I completed school in 2018, I was during my NSS, that is the national service, I was posted to this IT company. When I was posted, I was talking to some friends. They asked me which company I was posted to. I said I was posted to this IT company. And then they asked, what do I do there? And then I said, we were implementing solutions. That is the department I was posted to, or that I was assigned. They didn't understand. They knew I didn't read any computer science program or anything. So how was I able to work with such an IT company implementing solutions? So I told them that fortunately, the people in my department are people with a business or accounting background. It's easier for people with business background to understand business needs. So we need not to be computer science students or computer science graduates. We just need to understand business needs. And it just helps us understand what the clients need. And then we are able to implement a solution smoothly for the client. So from there, I have been implementing solutions, or have been helping implement solutions. I've implemented solutions for more than 15 clients. So yes, so like I said earlier, we start from gathering requirements to documenting the requirements and sharing with the client. The client reviews the requirement. The solution is able to do A, B, C, D for you. But these are your current processes. We compare the processes. The software might not be able to do A, B, C, but then we can do this. We can extend the solution. It might come at a cost, or you can get another solution. And we integrate. So we do all these things. Once everything is done, we do testing. We test to make sure everything is fine. We move to training. We train users on how to use the solution. After training, the clients go live. We give continuous support. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sorry, Fatima.
Hello, sorry, I can proceed.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
so
sure.
Support. So we are there from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. So we are more of empaths. So we are not just implementers, we are interpreters. We translate business needs into system logic as we guide users through change with clarity and then compassion. Okay, so I said we are empaths because we need to understand what the clients want. We need to speak the client's language and not just the software's language. We understand the software, we know the software's ins and outs and all that, but we also need to understand what the client wants. We understand the client's frustration, what the users want. It's a solution. So what are we trying to solve? What issue are we trying to solve? So that is the question we answer. And then we try, and then we give the businesses what they actually need. Real world impact. Digital transformation in Ghana or in the Ghanaian market requires empathy and innovation. It used to be very, very hard deploying ERP in Ghana. Or when I started back in 2018, some businesses were already using ERP. Those were big companies, but the smaller companies were not using ERP. And the ones that were even using ERP, they were using smaller solutions like Tally Accounting, QuickBooks. So the ones that were able to get them to use the Business Central, for some it was very difficult because they will now have to shift the way they used to do their things to new processes. So we come up with new processes, and the solution might not be able to do everything, like I said earlier. So we try to extend them to include what the users need. So an example could be we deploy the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. The client, when we review the client's processes, the client has something called the payment voucher. So the payment voucher is a document that they use to process payment. They use it to initiate payment. It goes through approval. Once it's approved, the payment is made. Now, that is payments to suppliers or parties, other parties. Now, if this document is not in the system, will the users be able to use it? They might be able to use the solution without it, but it means that they will have to go and raise certain documents manually, which defeats the purpose of using the ERP. Some companies want to go paperless, so it means that we will have to make sure we have the process or the document in the system. Once the users are okay with it, we move on, they go live, they start using it. Once they are okay, they are able to generate documents that are linked to other processes, right? So real world impact. The solution, is the solution able to help the users in their daily activities? Another example is the localization of our levies, our Ghana tax levies. So I think back in 2018, Ghana adapted the use of the levies. That's the 6%, or it used to be 5% before 2020. We included the 1% COVID levy. So before those times, we were not using the levies. It wasn't complicated. The VAT setup used to be very, very simple. You just go and set up all the types of VAT that the client uses. Once the person is a user is processing a document, the system uses that or applies that VAT rate. So if it's a flat rate, the system just uses it, calculates the VAT. Everything is posted to the right GL account. But then Ghana adapted to the levy system, and then we had to change or add more functionalities to the solution. We had to extend the existing processes or the existing objects to cater for these things. So we are now able to localize our VAT system. So almost every company in Ghana deploying the Business Central, I'm sure, has extended the VAT objects to include not just the VAT object, the VAT object and the process document, including sales documents, purchase documents, to include the levies calculations. Okay. Future trends in bridging the gap. The bridge is evolving. Are we ready? So now there are more AI tools that we can use. We are even using them as of now. All solutions are going cloud. So the businesses require our solutions to be cloud-based. Even though some of the clients still insist on using the on-prem solutions, the cloud-based solutions are also there. So whatever the client needs, that is any solution that they need an AI to be inbuilt in, we are able to do that. So we are evolving as the tech world is evolving. So we are making sure that the users are also adapting. Okay, call to action. So let's stop building in silos. Let's start building bridges with collaboration, empathy, and shared vision for transformation. So usually we deploy solutions and we have issues. I'm sure a lot of partners have issues with implementation or post-implementation. Sometimes we deploy solutions and businesses think we only care about selling the solution and going. But then we also care because when we deploy the solution and the user doesn't use it or they start having issues, then they stop using it entirely. And then we start hearing bad reviews. Or the Business Central solution is not good, or this solution is not good. And they will not tell you why it is not good. They'll just say it is not good. It doesn't do what they need because they are not using it at all. So when we start with the implementation, we start with the end users. We go to each process owner. We have several meetings with the process owners. We ask questions. What do you need the solution to do for you? What are the things you need the solution to do? What problems are you trying to solve? We consider all these things. We come and sit down with our team. We go through, we know what our solution can do, but maybe per their current business processes, we might need to change certain things. Sometimes we are not able to change or make sure the solution has everything that they need. Because the truth is, a solution, you will not find one single solution that does everything. You will find different solutions, different systems doing different things, but you will not find a single solution that does everything. So you will never meet a client that says, oh, I have all these processes, especially production companies who are into heavy manufacturing. You will not find a single company that you deploy the solution for and you'll be like, okay, we are okay with everything. Don't change anything. You might have to change the report layout. You might have to change some items in the lines, how the fields are arranged. You might even have to add more fields. You might even have to develop new processes. That changes the solution altogether. One user uses the solution in one company, moves to another company and realizes, oh no, the other company I was working with, they had this, but they might not have known that that functionality was extended for that specific company. So that is why it is even good now that Microsoft is encouraging businesses to be, or partners to be putting their items on the extension marketplace. So if you have anything that you have built, so let's say a project management solution, Dynamics has the jobs model, but the jobs model might be doing basic things. It doesn't do a lot, or it doesn't even give a lot of reporting tools. So if you need certain things and it's not there, we can go to the extension marketplace. We look at what is there already, and then we add it. So we are able to extend the solution to have everything or almost everything that the users they need. So we work in collaboration with the process owners. And the process owners are individuals in different departments who are responsible for overseeing activities in the department. So we can take the production department. The production departments can have different production officers, even people in the production on the production field that don't even have access to the solution. So we have a lot of people in the production department, but we have one production manager, and that production manager can be the process owner. Before we do the implementation, we go to each process owner. We listen to each process owner's what their frustrations are, what they are trying to resolve, what issues they are trying to resolve. Probably they are using a different solution. The solution is not giving them exactly what they need. We listen to them. Sometimes the process owner might not give you everything. The people who are actually on the ground who do the work, or the people who sit behind their machines to key data, who are the data clerks, might have certain inputs that could help. But sometimes process owners or leaders do not involve the actual users who sit behind the machine to key the data. So the software or solutions are usually imposed on users rather than it being a collaborative effort, right? So usually these are the kind of problems we have. So bridging the gap, the one of the ways we can try to bridge the gap between the business needs and technology is by a collaborative effort, right? Including everyone, starting from the users at the bottom to the leaders at the top. So we try to solve a problem for all the users, including the leaders at the top. The leaders at the top might just want reports. So they are just concerned, or they might just be concerned with the reporting needs or their reporting needs. But the people at the bottom might want some ease in keying data in the system, because they are actually the ones going to do all the data entry. But then the people at the top might just want their reporting to have everything, might want maybe good insight. But the people at the bottom are the ones sitting behind their machines keying the data. And once the data isn't keyed in well, we are not going to get good insight. So collaborative efforts, starting with all users at the bottom to the top, can help bridge the gap. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Please,
Thank you.
if anyone has question.
Thank you.
So
very
sorry
much.
if I was speaking fast and you couldn't understand me.
No, that is
under a lot of pressure. So sorry.
Never mind. We have a question here. The
Okay.
question is, what steps do you take if the solution does not meet all the client's requirements as a functional consultant? What steps do you take?
Okay, so this question is either we notice this at the beginning of the implementation or at the end. So if we catch this at the beginning, is the solution able to do everything? If not, what do we do? Like I mentioned earlier, we gather requirements, right? Even before we start the implementation or anything, we gather requirements. We compare the requirements from the user's end. That is after the business process review, the requirements that we have gathered, what do the business need the system to do or the solution to do. We compare it with our current solution. If it's Business Central, what does Business Central do, or what does the Business Central provide when it comes to this process? If the solution is not able to meet all those requirements, then we extend the solution. We extend the solution. That is one option. Either we extend the solution or we advise the business to get another solution So we consider a lot of factors, right? So we compare the cost. So if it's going to cost us more, that is if our developers, so Microsoft allows for partners to have Business Central developers. So our developers are the ones who extend the object and add more functionalities to them, right? So if in using our internal developers to do this is going to cost us more, especially maybe the man hours will be more, which is going to cost us more as compared to how much the client is going to pay. Or sometimes we even add these extensions without even charging the clients because we feel we charge them a lot at the implementation stage. So if it's going to cost us more, then why don't you just get another solution that will do exactly what you need? We can integrate the functionality into our current solution. So let's say POS, right? There was one time a client requested for a POS. Dynamics Business Central is more like a data repository. It is not a POS. It's not a point of sale solution. If you need it to be a point of sale solution, then you have to build it or you have to extend the solution. So you have to maybe extend the dashboard to include certain things such that someone sitting at the front desk is able to use it as a POS solution. Then whatever is keyed in maybe goes to the inventory, goes to the sales orders and other areas. But we even advised that we could even use Shopify. Shopify is already a Microsoft solution. Why not use Shopify as your POS? Whatever is keyed into Shopify at the end of the day, in fact, not just at the end of the day, even after when you are keying the transaction in Shopify, it's linked to Business Central. So whatever is keyed in to Shopify, sales orders, sales, inventory, updates, everything is linked into Business Central seamlessly. Instead of we extending the solution, because the solution was never meant to be a POS solution. That is why Microsoft has a lot of solutions. You see, so we have options. Either we extend our solution to include the functionalities that are required, or we advise the business to get another solution.
Okay, thank you very much, Fatima. So we have more questions coming in. If you want to come off mute to ask your question, you can. But I have some few questions also in the chat. So the next question is, what skills or certifications are most pivotal in your own journey? I mean, from personal consultant to tech as a tech leader.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier that I do not have any qualification in coding. Okay, I'm not a developer, even though I'm a tech enthusiast. So me, I like to learn a lot. So me, I personally have tried to learn how to code, especially in my area. That is the Business Central. Business Central has its own development language. So I tried to learn. I didn't need any tech or IT background. However, as a functional consultant, you need to have an accounting background. It's easier for someone with an accounting background to understand the solution. Let me not just say accounting, but anybody with business background. It could be administration, it could be marketing, it could be project management, it could be anything. Because our school system, when you study one course in business, you end up reading a lot in other areas. So if you do business administration, you end up learning something in accounting, you end up learning something in project manufacturing and other areas. So if you have business background, or if you have a certificate in business administration or accounting, it helps. Okay, it's not a requirement. Anybody can just get up and say, I want to be a functional consultant. What do I need? I can just give you books on the solution to go and read. You can read and you'll be okay. But you also need some certification, the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central certification. If you get a certification, by the time you are done learning everything, before you take the exam, you'll be okay. So once you take the exam, you are qualified to even be a Business Central consultant. But it's best, or it's easier for people with business background. You need not to be an IT expert, no. But it's important to have some business background. I've even met developers, not even functional consultants, technical developers who have gone to study accounting just because they wanted to understand the solution more. Like earlier I said, functional consultants, we are empaths. We try to feel the shoes of the user. So we need to understand the user's frustration to understand what the user really wants, or the user, sometimes they even think they know what they want, but we understand it better. So we advise them, it's better to do this than to do that. You see, so sometimes even when we try working with the developers, it's very, very difficult because they don't understand us. They don't understand our business language. You see, so we fight with them all the time to get the things done. So even them, even go and learn business at some point in their careers.
Thank you very much.
For us.
Thank you very much, Fatima. So I guess that as a business consultant, you'll be dealing more with the financial staffs or accounting. And if you have a good knowledge, understanding, then you can appreciate how the system should work. I guess that's the point you really want to draw. Now, touching on empathy, there's another question which says that why is empathy important in consulting for ERP projects?
Empathy is very, 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 very important. How do I sell something to you and tell you it is a solution when I don't understand your frustration? How? Say I'm an architect, right? I draw what do you call it, building plan. If I don't understand what you need, how do I draw the perfect plan for you, for the constructor to use to work? So you need to be an empath to understand the user's frustration. I keep using the word frustration because you need a solution for a reason, right? Everyone needs a solution for a reason. A system is a solution. It's supposed to solve some problem. Maybe for you to go paperless, maybe for you to get better insights of your inventory, anything. Maybe better business insight. So what problem is the user trying to solve, or what problem is the business trying to solve? As a consultant, I'm saying you have to be an empath. You have to really understand their frustration, where they are coming from, why they need the tool, before you can advise what tool is best for them, before you can advise what should be done about the tool, what extensions should be added to the tool, whether or not they need that tool or they need another tool, not just because we want to sell.
Sure. So here the focus is on the clients and what sells for the clients. Yeah. Yes. So what we need. And that's okay. So a follow-up question. So that has to do with resistance. The question is, how were you able to navigate the culture of resistance to change during requirements gathering or implementation? Example, if you have quoting a user, our auditors required hard signature when it comes to document authorizations. And so we can't do authorization via workflows. That's just an example of some of the resistance. So how do you, at least with your experience? Yeah.
It hasn't been easy. I mean, it's never easy, sir. It's never easy to adapt to change, right? It's never easy. So what we do is to encourage the users to use the software as it is, right? Or we even try, like I even said, extension, right? If they want a hard signature, we advise, unless you print the document and sign, which is not advisable, then what's the point in using the solution? Why not just continue using your paper, whatever you are using? Why adapt to the software? If you're adapting to the software, then you should adapt to change. If you need an electronic signature, we can't have an electronic signature, which there are a lot of tools that you can use to sign, right? So you sign, you give it to us, we upload it into the system, we assign the signature onto the user card. Whenever the user approves a document, because the signature is tied to the user card, the system picks that signature. Because of authentication, not anybody can have access to your credentials and come to the log into the solution and do something. So the solution, once deployed for you and you have your username and your signature are tied to the username, there's some control. That should be enough, rather than printing or insisting on using hard signatures. So there is at least the control. With the control, we know that at least it serves as something, right? Not everyone can have access to your user credentials. and log in to do something. It's just for you. Some people feel because the signature is in the system, it's very sensitive, someone can have access to it. No.
Okay.
So we enforce controls.
Okay. Thank you. I guess you have done
I don't know if
that.
that answers the question.
I hope, yeah, I hope so. Sometimes we say resist change itself doesn't come easy. As human as we are, resist change. So some of these things we need to be tactful, and also more education, more involvement, and trying to explain for the client the benefits of at least migrating from one system to another, in terms of if the person really needs to stop signing manually, and even the advantages which comes with it. At least when you do the pros and cons and the risks, at least you try to get the buy-in of the client.
Yeah.
The next question is,
and I think another, sorry, cut you.
Never mind.
One of the reasons, I think so far, in my experience, one of the reasons why people resist change is in their involvement. Okay, were they involved throughout the software implementation? Usually people have issues because they were not involved, and because they were not involved, they are not going to use it. Mostly, per my experience. But if they are involved from the beginning to the end, they don't complain. If they have any frustration, they discuss the frustrations even from the beginning. We resolve it even before we get to the end.
Thank you. So a question from Ifwa. Ifwa says that I come from a strong background in project coordination and supporting SMEs, where I often engage with entrepreneurs and manage stakeholders. As I explore Microsoft Dynamics 365, what practical steps would you recommend for someone like me to transition into a more technical or leadership role within the Dynamics 365 space?
Okay. So I can say you can, there are a lot of solutions within the Dynamics 365 space. So you have to try to pick one that you have interest in. You can try to explore them, right? If you try to explore them, you try to understand, if you can take some certifications, then you can transition.
Yeah, I agree with you, because with a background in project management, then at least you can, because I know that within the space, there's also project management in the software. So then you can focus on that area and build yourself up. Thank you for that. Anybody to come off mic to ask a question or contribute? Yeah, so there's a question from a student saying that he has no knowledge about all that we are discussing, but he's an accounting student.
Okay.
So don't worry. So far as you are part of the DAC community, I'm sure we'll be able to connect you with any of the resource people to really guide you in the career path. Yeah.
Okay. So I think for the students, right, there was a time Lady Ruth mentioned that we could even visit some of the schools. We can have some meetings with some of the schools, because I also have accounting background, but in school we weren't ERP. We just knew we learned we read management information systems. I remember hearing about ERP. I never really understood what it was until I started working with one. So I'm sure by the time you are done with school, you are posted for national service. But you might, maybe depending on where you are posted to, you might encounter some of these solutions. But it's even good for you that you are with us now learning. Maybe by the time you are done with school, you might find yourself in one company with the solution, and it's easier for you because you have heard a lot about it. But it would be great if we visit some of the schools and then we speak to them more often.
Yes, I agree with you. So we are trying to engage with some of the schools, especially when it comes to the DAG Ghana community, so that you can have special sessions just for students. Because I understand when you are speaking more technical and you're a student and you can't relate.
No, you
then
can't.
Then it's like, where am I? So
and I remember learning about tally accounting, but it didn't honestly, I didn't learn.
Okay, that's fine.
So yes.
Yeah, I get it. So there's a question here also, I'm sure, from Daniel. He said, Fatima, stop flagging down the developers. On the functional perspective, there are some super technical functional developers. I'm sure that's quite on the
Yes,
light
yes.
on that. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure maybe it thought maybe you're being so hard on the developers. So
You have to be hard on them because they don't listen. They think we are bothering them, but they don't know we are frustrated for the client. We are empaths, you know.
Sure. Okay. So great presentation. Any contribution from any of our members? I know we have people who are quite in depth in there. We have Nikki here. We have Wendell, Jeremy, which I know. We have Daniel too. I don't know if they would like to add anything to what have been discussed so far. Chesco too. You can come off mute, and if you want to ask a question, contribution.
Yeah, this is Jeremy. Yes,
Okay,
I think Fatima has said everything for me, so I'm fine.
Are you sure you have? I'm sure you have a lot.
Okay, so Nick.
Oh,
Fatima, you've done very well. This is Emmanuel.
Hi, Ima. Hi, Ima.
Yeah,
Ima, I'm
Fatima.
lucky you don't work with me.
Is that?
I've forgotten that Ima is one of us.
Okay.
But then, is there any other developer here? There is Satuchi. Satuchi is new here. I dragged him to join the meeting. He's also a developer.
Oh, okay.
A business central developer.
The developers are not happy with
and
you.
we have Dio here too.
Diogenes here.
Yes, and Prince.
Okay. So the
These are
topic
developers.
today was bridging the gap. I don't know if you guys were paying attention. Bridging the gap between business needs. Okay.
You want to invite them again? You invite developers.
You should know that.
So Fatima, Fatima, point well noted. I'm sure Nikki wanted to make a point, so maybe Nikki can come off my here.
Okay, sure.
Kathy, yeah.
Oh, no worries. I've just been in the field for over 20 years now, and I definitely agree with everything Fatima is saying. As far as the student asking, you need to get a mentor. You need to cozy up to somebody in this group who's been possibly on the path that you want to go, or somewhere similar, and cozy up to them and get them to mentor you. And that way you can ask specific questions, because right now your question is very open-ended. There's no way for us to really, or any of us to really answer what you're asking specifically, because I know you have specific questions, specific things that you're trying to do, specific way you're trying to go, and you're trying to get to that. In order to get to that, you really need to be partnered up with somebody that you talk to. They trust you, you trust them. You bounce ideas off of each other, and they learn from you just like you learn from them. But you grab somebody that you look up to, or that's willing to mentor you and has a similar career path to where you're trying to go. And also note that career path, even though you try to go a specific way, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go that specific way. Sometimes you just need to roll with the punches. I started off being a straight code developer, ended up in application development, and then, ended up in cloud development, and then ended up in leadership. And I used to always be like, I'm not going to never do that. I'm going to stay coding forever. So you don't know how your life is going to change, how your career is going to change.
You're right.
So be open.
Yeah, right, Nikki. So, yeah, thank you very much for your contribution. Any other? Ben, I know Ben Nate is also on the call. If you want to contribute.
Yeah, just to add to what Nikki said, for the young one who just wants to enter, I have 20 plus experience, and what I've realized is how technology changes. I think it's changing faster than what it used to be 10 years ago. So if you really want to get into something, like Nikki said, you need to listen, get a mentor, and then also, you know, it's important to look at the trends, where things are heading. It looks like cloud computing is going to be what we take forward. It looks like automation, AI is going to lead. How is Microsoft positioning, itself moving forward, and grab those opportunities? So might be good to speak to the old folks, also speak to the new ones, and see how you get a balance. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe Fatima, I'd like you to address this since you're in the industry. So when it comes to AI in the space of ERP, what are some of the new stuffs coming up, and how do you think the AI will have impact in the space of the ERP and also CRM?
With the AI, right? The truth is, I myself haven't even gotten the time to explore. I was even about to ask, am I the only one who is, I'm lost? With Microsoft, Microsoft has a lot of tools, and I get so confused. Am I the only one?
I guess no, because those who are even in the industry themselves are confused, because every now and then there are new releases, new updates, and you have to be on it. And maybe Nikki, maybe you can respond to that.
So with the AI tools, right? What I usually use, I use the Copilot a lot. I use it outside the solution, but the AI tools they are inbuilt within the solution, but we do not use them. There was a time we had, I think my first DUG meeting, some lady took us through bank reconciliation with Copilot.
Sure.
In that meeting, yes. After that meeting, I remember telling some of our clients, oh, they can use it, but honestly, we have not used it. There are a lot. I'm sure we can use the AI tools. I see when we are on certain pages within the Business Central solution, it gives us some insights. On the right, you can see the Copilot area. It gives you some insights. If you pay attention, there are good insights that even you can use in place of the reports. It's giving you up-to-date insights. They are very, very good, but I haven't gotten the time to even explore.
Okay, so maybe let me push in this before Nikki comes in. So definitely, yes, with Microsoft Concept, AI is being built on every application. So Copilot will be on all applications. So what it means is that you need then to develop yourself in the space of Copilot based on the kind of application you are using. Whether you are using basic application as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or you are using complex application as Business Central or any of the ERP tools or CRM, yes, Copilot is in there, and you need to understand how you can use it to really enhance your work and make work easier for you. Nikki.
Thank you. I was going to say, Fatima, you're not the only one confused. We are a Microsoft partner. This is the first time we've had a Microsoft partner company. We ran one for about 7 years before this one. Ran our US one for 3 years, and our Ghana one, it's been a few months. And even being partners, even being on the inside, I've sat on boards and I still get confused. There was a time where I had a very close understanding of a lot of the licenses, but 7 years ago, and that was 7 years ago, the product line in Microsoft has yet exploded even more than it was then. So I had a good understanding then, but now, it's a whole nother thing to even try to keep up. And Microsoft partners, even those of us who've been in the game for a minute, we still struggle. Unless you're like a bigger partner and you have the ability to dedicate someone to Microsoft licensing and those types of changes is on their own. But speaking of AI, I think that's a tool that, as Frederick was saying, it's in everything. Microsoft is putting it in everything. It's everywhere because that's the way the industry is going. But a big mistake of the industry right now is thinking that AI is the replacement for people. So it's not the replacement for people. It's the people's tool to help them get faster. And as a consultant, you're going to want to use AI to help you get faster. but you still need to have that base knowledge and understanding and experience that will help you write the right prompts for the AI to be able to get the best data out of it. Because other than that, you're just going to be asking it things and you may get partial truths, but you might not know how to double check to make sure if that truth is true or not. So it's definitely something you want to make sure that you have in your tool belt. And I definitely think you should get on that sooner rather than later, Fatima. I have no doubts that you can grab it. It's really pretty easy. As long as you have a logical mindset, which you do in order to do what you're doing, you'll be able to get into it. It's no problem. But you do want to start learning that tool. You do want to make sure you're using paid versions of AI if you're going to be putting in anything that's sensitive or proprietary. Other than that, you can use free versions, but make sure you're signed in so that you don't lose any of your previous prompt.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to even ask you said you've been a Microsoft partner for about 20 years, right?
Well, I've been in Microsoft for over 20 years. I've been a Microsoft partner for maybe 12 or 13 years.
Oh, that's long enough. So are you a developer?
That's where I started. Yeah, I was a straight code developer.
Okay.
I've developed
So
applications.
okay. So do you also use AI tools in the dev? So now we are using Visual Studio Code. So I know there is Cursor. I even encourage my people to use Cursor to solve a lot of problems that they are not able to solve on their own. But I know Cursor is not for Microsoft, unless is it for Microsoft? Or Microsoft has its own AI tool for dev?
Yeah, I don't know that tool. And I haven't been, a code developer for a minute. I know there are lots of development tools, even in Microsoft, for code development. There's tools around Power BI and Power Automate and Power Apps as well. So no code, low code solutions, which Sigil, who is on my team, well, actually he's co-CEO for CISA, who could answer that because he's closer to that than me. I've been more on the leadership side more recently.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have Daniel. Daniel, I don't know how you want to chip in.
Yes, my name is Daniel. Basically, I work as a technical consultant for Dynamics Business Suite. In the area of the AI, I think where the impact will be felt most is, for example, you own a business, a very big business, let's say a supermarket chain, or let's say a car franchise, and then you have customers coming in. You see a high net worth individual come in. For example, let's take 1%, like McDonald coming into your premises. Really, I think you wouldn't really want him to go queue behind all the customers. So the system basically prompts you that, oh, McDonald is around because he can read cast number plate. And you quickly come down from the head office as the MD and then take McDonald inside the premises and take him through the VIP door and give him that special attention that he needs because of his net worth. Maybe the other players, customers want to come and buy, for example, saloon cars. He is coming in for 2025 Lamborghini, and you wouldn't like him to queue. So those are the areas I think the AI basically is going to, and where the impact will be felt much in terms for businesses actually in real time. But when it comes to developers, like you said, yes, there are a lot of tools for developers. When it comes to AI, it can do a lot for you in terms of shortening your development time, bringing in code suggestions, refactoring, and the rest of it. So AI, yes, that is the way it's going. That is the way now it's going. That is the way it's going to go in the future. So I think adaptation to AI is a positive thing that everybody should look out for.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do you have any specific dev AI tool you can recommend?
For now, when it comes to the AI tool, I think the one that Microsoft has stick out their neck to is the Copilot. So the Copilot operates across all the Microsoft apps and platforms for that. But you could go, there are other specialized tools out there. For me, I think I sometimes rely on DeepSeek, which is the Chinese version of AI, which is faster, well, in terms of output. Basically, from my personal perspective, I think it gives a better perspective. I may be wrong, but that's my perspective. So you could explore those other tools too. Yes.
Yeah, so for me, what I would say is that in the space of the AI, there are a lot of tools out there. It depends on which one you want to use. Google have their own Gemini, DeepSeek. They also have other ones. But what Microsoft is trying to promote on their platform is the Copilot, and what they are trying to assure clients has to do with security, reliability, and also privacy, in terms of privacy, as Nicola has put there. So within the Microsoft space, yes, you are safer if you are using the paid version of the Copilot. It means it's more secure. You are using it within the company, within the same tenant, and it's quite safer. But yes, it's good to explore. It's good to try other ones out and see the best out. For me, for the team and for the group, I would say that we should all spend some time trying to learn something about AI, because that's the new stuff which is really getting into the space of tech. So we cannot be left out. We need to really be part of it, any of them. So at this point, we have done almost, exactly 1 hour, 30 minutes. So I would like to thank you all for your time. Fatima, I really appreciate you today for what the delivery you did for us. And also Cyrille, who is catching a flight. I'm sure by now she'll be in the air. Thank you all those who joined today. We'll publish our next virtual meetup before the end of the year, and we'll also try and have an in-person meeting before the end of the year. So be active in the group. Join in the chat. I've really pasted the links in terms of on the meetup and also on the WhatsApp group. That's where most of the communication will be happening. As we said, those who are in need also of mentors will get in touch with you and also link you with those who are already in the industry to support you, because that's what the community is about, to support each other. So far as we are all interested in the same space, technology, and we're able to support each other. That's what it's about, not for any individual or for any group of people, but for all of us all. So thank you very much for your time. As you spending your Sunday, giving us some 1 hour 30 minutes of your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Fatima, and thank you for all those who joined and have made incredible contribution to the Ghana Meetup virtual meeting today. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you too, and have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.